Hey, what's up guys, it's Renaldo here. So before I get into this video, can I just please ask that you smash the like button and that you consider subscribing. Only 45% of the people that watch my content are actually subscribed to it. So you can easily just click the subscribe button. And if you don't like my content or you think I'm harassing you after a while, then you can just unsubscribe, but it would be appreciated. All right. So this video is going to focus on South Africa's bad habit of stolen valor. Now, what do I mean by that? If you look at South Africa over the last 31 years, and I asked you, can you point to what the government of this country, predominantly the ANC for 30 years, what have they built? What have they contributed to South Africa with regards to infrastructure? Not a lot. I mean, here and there's a hospital. I know that there's one port in Nelson Mandela Bay, Muga, but it's few and far in between. Now, what the ANC is far better at is renaming things in this country to make it look like that is something that they've built. Renaming towns, renaming metros, renaming small towns, cities. They constantly do that. Renaming hospitals, renaming airports. This is what the ANC does to make it look to the rest of the world like this is something that was built by the ANC. When in actual fact, over the last 31 years, I'm pretty sure the ANC has renamed more things than things that they've actually built. Now, the latest one that has now come to pass is the following. That's right. Proposal to change the name of South Africa. Yeah. I mean, And this is not necessarily the ANC. This is actually the African Transformation Movement that wants to implement this. And I have to say, in actual fact, I'll give my opinion after the fact. So let's get into this quick. The African Transformation Movement, ATM, and other political parties plan to approach Parliament and the Constitutional Review Committee to change South Africa's name to the Republic of Azania, among other things. The political party is arguing that the current name is a relic of colonialism and does not reflect the true identity of the people in South Africa. ATM President and Parliamentary Leader Vuyo Zungula said the name South Africa was imposed during colonization and is deeply tied to the oppressive systems created by the British and the Boers. Oh wait, so it's not in actual fact the geographical location. It is the southern part of Africa. Therefore, it's called South Africa. No, instead it's colonialism and the British and the Boers. Yeah, that makes perfect sense. All right. Before 1652, we were not South Africans. The name South Africa came as a result of the British and the Boers coming together to form what was called the Union of South Africa, a structure designed to further the oppression of indigenous people, he said. Okay. So 31 years into our democracy, what is really important to change is the name of a place rather than to fix the issues within the place. Okay. Zungula believes that changing the name is about reclaiming heritage and national pride. Okay, that's interesting. All formerly colonized nations like Southwest Africa have changed their name. We know it to be Namibia, he explained. Yeah, the same with Rhodesia and Zimbabwe. Look how that turned out. The country is the name given to them by colonizers. It's an identity. It's your heritage. You can't expect South Africans to hold onto an identity that was imposed on them. Therefore, they are putting forward a proposal to change the name of the country from the Republic of South Africa to the Republic of Azania. The proposal, however, is already being criticized. Political analyst Kenneth Mongatle dismissed it as unnecessary and irrelevant, saying the name South Africa is simply a geographic description and not unique. Thank you. Thank you to that political analyst. Other countries like South Sudan, Central African Republic, North Macedonia, East Timor and North and South Korea also use geographical identifiers. It's nothing out of the ordinary, he said. He added that Azania is not widely embraced and is mainly used by black radicals in academia and politics who wish to symbolically reject the legacy of apartheid and white supremacy. The name Azania lacks authentic historical, cultural, political, or linguistic connections to South Africa and its people, reinforcing doubts about its relevance and appropriateness as a national name, Mokgatle said. Now, there's also other things that has been proposed, like changes to the constitution. But I have to say, this idea that Zungula believes that changing this name is about reclaiming heritage and national pride. Now, can I just ask, and I want to can we just speak facts here, right? Colonization is something that happened across the world, and even as an Afrikaner, my culture went through that. When the British fought us during the Anglo-Boer War, it was colonization. So I believe that as an Afrikaner, I can speak on this because my culture was also colonized. Now, with that being said, the technology that came with the British and with various other influences over the years of things that they stole and maybe invented on their way down to Southern Africa should be considered. Because you can't just change the name of a country and then claim everything within it as a victory that you achieved and that you built. That's not the way it works. So if you want to reclaim your identity and your national pride and your heritage, then you have to look at all of these things that the colonizers brought with them, and you have to rid yourself of it. And I mean, this speaks to me as an Afrikaner as well. So then electricity, paved roads, sanitation, all of these things need to be re-looked at, because if you want to change the name of the country and you want to claim your cultural heritage, then you have to look at, what did your culture invent? What did your culture bring to the party? Because you can't just say, oh, I like these things about colonization, but I don't like these things about colonization. You have to decide it's one or the other. You can't be extreme on the one side, but lackadaisical on the other side. You have to say, my culture is something that I believe in and I want to further, and therefore everything that the colonizers brought should be removed. Because you see, that's an inconvenient truth to tell. You want to proclaim that the colonizer came and destroyed everything and destroyed your culture and your heritage. And remember, once again, an Afrikaner here, the British did the same. The British was one of the biggest colonizers. And I'm not one that goes, okay, I want to have my cultural pride at the expense of what colonization brought to South Africa. Because, can we be honest here? If South Africa wasn't colonized, we wouldn't have a lot of the things that we currently have right now. Hospitals, roads, dams, infrastructure, all of the things that we have now, to a large extent, is because of colonization. Now, you can be shocked by this point, but it's factual. So I'm sorry if my facts are hurting your feelings. Ultimately, if you want to rename South Africa, rename it. A lot of people in this country are always getting emotional when things are being changed. Like let's use Port Elizabeth has been changed to Gqeberha. Right? Nobody can pronounce it. Doesn't mean anything, really. No, really. Gqeberha has no unique meaning behind it, but yet the name was changed from Port Elizabeth. The same with Pretoria to Tshwane, Grahamstown. There's so many examples of towns, hospitals, airports that have been changed from one name to the other. I mean, airports went from, we need to take it away from DF Malan or Verwoerd or whatever it was called, the airports, to just show the geography of this country, like to Port Elizabeth Airport, Johannesburg Airport, Cape Town International. And now they've changed it back to political names. OR Tambo, Shaka Zulu. All of these things are like, okay, it's fine. But the point that I'm trying to get across is we should actually stop fighting this. If People want to rename it to Azania, so be it. Whatever. In actual fact, it might even be better for the legacy of South Africa. For instance, Pretoria. I think anybody that was there when Pretoria was developed would be embarrassed to see what the state of Pretoria is right now. And the same with Port Elizabeth. If you look at the state of Port Elizabeth right now, you would be embarrassed to call it Port Elizabeth. So in actual fact, these things are a blessing in disguise. Calling it Ngqeberha is great because it shows this is Ngqeberha. This is what the state of it is. Same with Pretoria and Tshwane. Same with the state hospitals that have been renamed. So South Africa, as it stands right now, is a shadow of its former self when it comes to infrastructure. Look at what the state of infrastructure is in South Africa. And then ask yourself, do you think the people over the last century and a bit, when they developed South Africa, do you think they would be proud to call this South Africa, the state that it's in currently? I highly doubt it. So that's why I'm saying we need to stop this argument, this mental debate that we want to have about renaming things. Yes, it's going to cost a lot of money, but we need to grow accustomed to the fact that the ANC and the government really does not care to spend money where it is most needed. They rather want to spend it on things that they can just easily adjust and then make it look like this was because of them. So I think that we should embrace the Republic of Azania, because then at least in 20 or 30 years from now, our children can look back and still see what South Africa used to be like versus what Azania is right now. Now, I think it's idiotic, and I personally think it's pathetic that you want to spend millions of rands on renaming things when we have an unemployment rate of 45%, when we have 84 murders a day, and a sexual violent crime taking place every few seconds in this country. Don't get me wrong, it's idiotic. But we've also reached that point of trying to argue or debate it is a lost cause, because what's going to happen is what's going to happen. So rather just lean into it and say, of course, change it by all means. I mean, why would we want the people that built the hospitals, that built the universities, that built the statues, that built all of this, why would we want their names associated with what things are now and how it looks now? Because there is a big difference between what South Africa looked like in 1994 to what South Africa looks like right now. And listen, if you want to bring race into it, that's you. All I'm saying is the ANC over the last 31 years have failed South Africa miserably. And one of the main issues was the maintenance of infrastructure, just maintaining things. The ANC has built things here and there, but the Achilles heel of the ANC is clearly maintaining things. They are terrible at maintaining things. So the point that I'm just trying to get across is the Republic of Azania. I think that we should embrace it, because at least then South Africa, or at least what we know South Africa to be, would not be damaged by this reputation of what is happening in this country. At least then we can go and say, well, South Africa used to be better, but Azania definitely is not. And that's pretty much all I got to say. Thank you so much for tuning in. It's greatly appreciated. Please be sure to smash that like button. Please be sure to subscribe. Please be sure to share this video far and wide so that we can tell more people of what the proposed name change is of South Africa. And then lastly, please consider becoming a member to this channel. You can do so by clicking the join button below. And that's pretty much all I got to say. Till later. Cheers and peace out.
You don't even know me, but every time you see me, you say, I went my massacre. You don't even know me, but every time you see me, you say, I went my massacre. My massacre. You don't even know me, but every time you see me, you say, I went my massacre. My massacre.